Hello, hello, hello. It is Wednesday, January the 11th at 6:42 p.m. here in South Georgia. Let me get the weather for you. I know I'm probably warmer than most. It is 66 degrees with a high of 75, which I think it did get there today, and a low of 38. Mostly clear. Tomorrow, Thursday, is going to be sunny, a high of 76 with a low of 52. So, if y'all know anything about South Georgia, we don't really have necessarily a winter. We kind of have, um, our year goes like this: a little bit of spring, a lot of summer, a quick fall, a quick winter, then a little bit of spring, and then right back to hot, hot summers. And our humidity here is very, very high, and it's a very wet humidity. So, my favorite example is you can take a shower and get your clothes on and be dry, and then walk out your door. And by the time you get to your car, you are soaked again just from the sweat and the moisture in the air, the humidity. So it's not real pleasant to be out in it. As long as you live with air conditioning and have air conditioning in your car, and most of the places you go are air conditioned, it's great because you don't have the severe winter. You don't have to worry about cold and ice and snow and freezing temperatures and all of that. So it's really nice, except for if you want to go outside in the summer. That's not as pleasant. But we do have probably, I would say, 75% of the year that you can get outside and do something if you wanted to. So that's nice. I was raised in Indiana, in the northwest corner of Indiana, about 45 minutes from Chicago, and close to Lake Michigan. And we had terrible snow blizzards and storms while I lived there as a child. And as soon as I turned old enough to think about getting married, my plan was to get married and move away from that snow and cold. And that's exactly what we did. We got married, and the next day, our honeymoon was moving to Georgia. Boy, did I not know what I was getting into, but it's okay. I ended up enjoying Georgia, and I still enjoy it. So I don't know where y'all are from, what part of the country, or if you're from another country, you could drop me a message in the chat or something and let me know where you're from. That'd be great. Anybody wants to come up on panel, I've already put the link in the chat. I'm not going to be on too long. I don't know. Hey, Revelant Glitz and Glam Chicks. I always mispronounce that first part, Revelant. But welcome. So anyway, I'm not going to be on too long. I know Purple will probably go live tonight later on, but I didn't really see anybody on, so I was a little bit bored and thought that I would come on. I hope you had a good day today. Did you do anything fun and exciting? I did something today I've never done before. I took my granddaughter to her first dentist appointment. And I wasn't sure how they would be able to look at her teeth, but they have you hold the baby facing you on your lap, and then they sit right in front of you, and they have you lay the baby backwards so that the baby's head is in their lap, and then you hold the baby's arms, and they want the baby to kind of, holler a little bit so that they can look inside their mouth. So she got an exam, she got teeth cleaning, and she got her first fluoride treatment today. So that was all very exciting for her. I was a little upset afterwards because I did have to hold her down, and she did cry. But she got over it as soon as we were finished. It was, she was back to her normal self. So that was good. That's about all I really did today. That was at 11 o'clock. So that was kind of in the middle of the day. And we had breakfast, a quick nap, went to the dentist, had lunch, had another quick nap, went, took her back to her mama at 3:15. And then I went to the grocery store and then I came home. So nothing exciting, really. That's the life of a 60-year-old stay-at-home grandma. I go by Granny, and most of my days are spent taking care of my granddaughter, at least, during the time that my daughter works. And so thankful that I am able to be at home and I am able to take care of my granddaughter. There was a time in my life where my health wasn't very good, and I didn't know if I'd ever even live long enough to see a grandchild be born into the family, yet alone be able to be their primary caregiver during the week. So it's been a big blessing for me. And she's been like the fountain of youth for me, because as soon as I found out she was on the way, I started turning my life around and I started making healthy choices and doing things to help be able to live longer, instead of just being depressed and just saying, okay, well, I'll die soon. So now I have energy again, finally, after years of dragging around, thinking I was near death. I have energy. I have excitement in my life. I have the desire to do whatever I need to do, to have a good life and a long life. My birthday is Sunday, and I'm actually going to go out of town and spend the weekend with a girlfriend that I have been friends with for over, about 37 years. So she called the other day and said, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you come down for your birthday? And we'll go out to dinner and we'll just have a nice time celebrating your birthday. So I said, sure, I'd love to. So I will be doing that this weekend. And I'm very excited about that. Hello, whoever just popped in. I'm just kind of talking. You can ask questions in the chat or just chat, or you can come up on panel. I put the link in the chat, whatever you'd like to do. I'm just killing time. I was bored. I didn't see anybody on. And I always try to go to Purple's in the evenings. And I thought I'd come on for a little bit until Purple goes live. Well, I might not stay on that long, but at least, I'll be done by the time Purple goes live. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. Well, that person decided to leave. That makes me sad. Why are my comments not showing up? Oh, South Texas. Hope you are well and have fun on your birthday. Well, thank you. I'm glad. I know South Texas has got a lot of humidity also. So you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think Texas has more of a drier heat than actually the wet humidity that I have here. Let's see. Well, there we go. So let's see. Yes, you drink your oxygen. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Did you have a good day today? Did you do anything fun and exciting? I always like to hear about, different climates and different towns, different areas. Like, what are the sights to see if I was to come to where you live? Are there amusement parks? Are there state parks? Uh, what kind of touristy things do you have there? Here in South Georgia, we don't really have anything touristy. We have I live right before the Florida state line. So basically, the touristy things are on down into Florida. There is a place called Wild Adventures. It's kind of like a animal safari type park, but they also have a splash zone and a wading pool and a lazy river you can float on a raft in. And then they have all kinds of rides, games. They put on shows. They have magic shows. They have animal shows. They have a safari train thing you can ride and actually get to see all the animals. Bone density, then out for lunch with hubby. Well, at least you got to have lunch with your hubby. I don't know how they do the bone density test, but I imagine it wasn't too bad. Where did y'all go to eat? What kind of food did you have? Anyway, so it's kind of like a carnival meets a country fair meets a safari meets a water park, if that makes any sense. It's really fun for the kids. And it's been in our town for probably 25 plus years. So it's pretty well established. But other than that, we have one of those trampoline jumping places. Oh, it was an X-ray. Okay. Well, then that was probably not too bad. And then you had a hot sandwich. Yum, yum, yum. I wanted to go to Firehouse Subs today. I love their, I think it's called the Hook and Ladder Sub. But I decided not to. I just went to the grocery store and got some groceries and got a piece of their fried chicken from the deli and some mashed potatoes. So that's what I had for dinner. Which I shouldn't really have fried chicken or mashed potatoes, but I didn't have a lot. So, and I only ate about half of what I was going to eat. So that's good. Can I ask about the bone density test? Is that something you wanted done or something your doctor wanted to have done? Or is it just something that they normally do at a certain age? Because I haven't had one. And I'll be 60 Sunday on the 15th. Well, I think everyone has left me. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video real quick, and I'll be back. There it did. Okay. Yeah, ouch. That's bad. Slip down the steps and hurt your back. So they were doing the bone density just to see if you have like osteoporosis or anything like that. And you're 63. So you're right here with me. Sorry, I'm a slow typer. Oh, don't worry about it at all. I usually type on my phone. I find it a little bit easier, but because the screen is smaller, sometimes I hit the wrong button, wrong key. or hit too many keys. So a lot of times I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. And I'm like, oh, would you like to come up on panel? You don't have to show you your face or anything. You be on, have your camera off, and then we could just talk instead of having to type. That interests you at all? I don't know. Some people are a little self-conscious about even coming and speaking on the YouTube. I have to admit, I was very shy myself at first. Oh, that's okay. No problem. I was very shy about doing it myself, so I understand. PJ Wish. PJ Swish. Is it PJ's Wish? Your name isn't, is the PJ part or like initials or something? I have a friend that goes by PJ. That's why I was wondering. Do you go in purples? I think I've seen you in there before. I used to watch, I started out watching Molly, and then I went and watched Heidi, and then I went to Voice for the Voiceless for a little while. And then I came back and found Purple. Patty Jean. Okay, Patty Jean. Her name is Patricia. I think it might be Patricia Jean. And she goes by PJ. I tried really hard with my daughter's name to have it be something that she could have a nickname, because my first name is a different name, different spelling, and I didn't really like the nicknames people came up with. So I wanted to make sure I, gave her a good name that she could have good nicknames. So I named her Allison because I worked with somebody whose name went by the name Sunny, and I thought that was cute for a girl. And then also I liked the nickname Allie. So I thought, well, she could either be Allie or she could be Sunny or she could be Allison. My daughter's so strong-willed, she wouldn't let anybody call her anything but Allison. So here I worried and struggled picking a name, and it didn't end up even mattering because she didn't let anybody call her a nickname. Oh, PJ Wish, that is such a good wish. Oh, I wish the same thing. I hate seeing the homeless, especially in the winter months. I know they're cold, and I'm also a very big advocate for children. I don't know how anybody could abuse or injure a child. They are all just sweet and precious to me. And I do believe in everybody helping each other. I kind of believe in paying it forward. I was just talking to somebody earlier about if you could have one thing change in 2023 in our world, what would it be? And it's that your wish is kind of like an answer to that kind of a question. And I said I would stamp out, all racism of any kind, because I don't believe in it at all. I believe we're all underneath everything. When it comes right down to it, we're all human beings first and foremost. And therefore, there shouldn't be all the differences that society tries to put on us. I don't like that at all. And it doesn't just have to be about race or religion. It could just be cultural or just a lot of things that people are, I think, mistreated because of choices that they make in their lives or their beliefs, their values, things like that. And it shouldn't be like that. I don't want anybody judging me or telling me how to live my life, so I wouldn't judge anyone else or try to impose my values on them. I just wouldn't do that. That's exactly right. We are all God's children, and we do have different cultures. And I love that about our human race, that we are all different and we can all come from different walks of life, and yet we still have something in common because we are human beings, first and foremost. They told me not to talk much about politics or religion on my channel. But I am a Christian, and I do believe in that we are all God's children. And I also believe that God does answer prayers. And sometimes when something seems so negative happening in your life and you just can't imagine, why God would let that happen, there's usually always a silver lining. Something positive will come out of it that you didn't expect. Hi, Iris. Hello, finishing up dinner, so popping in to say hi. Well, hi, welcome. Because we all came from different areas. Exactly. And I like to learn about different cultures and different areas of the world. I was one of the main lessons I taught my daughter when she was growing up is that not everybody believes the same thing that you do or lives the way that you do, but it's neither, good or bad, right or wrong. Everybody is entitled to live how they want to live, and you respect the fact that that's their life, their decisions to make. Miss Iris, I don't know how you do it up there talking to yourself. It drives me crazy. I'm like, please, somebody come up. I mean, I don't mind typing in the chat, but it's like I feel like I'm just up here rambling, talking to myself. And I don't want people to be like, that lady is crazy. She just gets up there and rambles. But until I get to know people and know what kind of topics people want to talk about, I always feel awkward when I'm talking to myself. Well, I talk to myself around the house, yes, but it's a little different when you're actually hoping someone's listening to you. Yeah, I wish somebody would come up with me, but it's okay. No pressure. I understand. I've only been up on someone's panel a couple of times, and they were like, is this your first time? Because I didn't know how to get up there, and I didn't know how to turn my camera off and things like that. I'm about to serve dinner. Well, what are you having yummy good? I love talking about food, especially food I'm not supposed to have. And honestly, I am a little shy in real life. Well, that's something we all are. We all are a little bit shy. That's what I was saying at the beginning. It's like I'm not used to, I feel like I'm being put on the spot, Sorry, sweeter, I can't. Oh, breakfast for dinner. Can't read today. I love having breakfast for dinner. Seems like in the mornings I never have time to really fix a big breakfast. So like on the weekends or whatever, I might do it. But I love to have it for dinner. So I hope everybody had a good day. I hope everybody is looking forward to the weekend coming. I was mentioning earlier that I will be going to a friend's house for the weekend. Eggs, home fries, bacon, and hash. Nothing healthy. Oh, but it sounds delicious. Home fries and hash. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. Eggs are so expensive right now. I was at the grocery store this afternoon and I looked at them and I said, I just can't pay that for eggs. Unfortunately, all grocery prices have gone up sky high. It seems like no matter what you get, it's like $3.50 to $4 per item. And that's just crazy to me. I need dollar items, you know. I actually shop in the Dollar Tree. I mean, I know it's $1.25, but sometimes they have, you know, canned vegetables. They have soups. Um, they have, you know, they have a few things you can pick up there pretty reasonable. Hello, welcome in. I'm just kind of talking. I'm turning 60 on Sunday. Yay! This birthday's really been hard. Let's see, egg prices are shocking. I used to feed the kids lots of eggs because it was affordable with a large family. Exactly. Exactly. And you could, you know, add a little milk to them or, you know, whatever and stretch them a little bit. We were blessed to have fresh eggs from the lady down the road. But I bet even the people that are selling eggs that have their own chickens, I bet they've raised their prices too, because I'm sure the price of the feed that you feed the chickens has gone up. But I love fresh eggs too. Sorry about that. That I just was looking at a text from my friend saying she was excited about me coming this weekend. I love duck eggs. We used to get free eggs until the family moved away. Yes, duck eggs are good too. They're just bigger than chicken eggs. I've had both made, like, you know, one skillet full of regular eggs and one of duck eggs, and I couldn't really tell the difference. I think they tasted about the same. And some of those fresh eggs, you get double yolks in them. That's always good, especially if it's like a fried egg. I love a good fried egg with a runny yolk so I can dip my toast in it. Just a little and give them fresh veggies. Yes, that is why I like them, because I love over easy eggs and they have a bigger yolk with the ducks. Exactly. That's how I always treat myself if I go out of town or something and I go to a restaurant for breakfast, because I'm not good at making the over easy eggs. I always break the yolk. So I like to have somebody make them for me. So that's always a treat if I go to a restaurant and have somebody actually make them where they turn out right. I just found out my town is getting, not my town, but the town my daughter lives in. I live in a little tiny one stoplight town about 15, 20 minutes from a bigger town that my daughter lives in. But that bigger town is getting a Dunkin' Donuts. And I told my daughter, I said, well, Miss Irish, she drinks Dunkin' Donuts coffee all the time. So I'm going to have to try me some when they get open. I'm not a big regular coffee drinker, but I do like iced coffee. I don't know if anybody else is a coffee drinker or if they like the flat, you know, like the, I call them dessert coffees because I like the whipped cream and the caramel sauce on them, things like that. Everything that I'm not supposed to have being a diabetic. See, this is why I struggle so hard, because I like all the things I'm not supposed to have. And my doctor always jokes, you know, if it tastes good, spit it out. You're not supposed to have it. Oh, goodness. I didn't know that chickens liked necessarily fresh vegetables. Yes, all day coffee, but have to cut back for more water. My ex-husband used to drink coffee all the time. That was like the only thing he drank. And I would always say, "You need to drink some water." And he would say, "Well, there's water in the coffee." And I'm like, that's not what they mean when they say drink more water. And I put on my community wall today about my dog's channel, Chloe the Chiweenie. She's a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. And I've had her channel for longer than I've had this channel going. And so I finally am advertising them both together so that the people who are on there can come over here, hopefully. And hopefully some of y'all will go and check out my funny puppy dog videos. You have a vegetable garden? Oh, that would be so nice. See you next time you're on. Have a beautiful night. Thank you, Iris. And you have a great breakfast with your family. And you trade vegetables for eggs. Oh, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. When I was growing up in Indiana, my dad always had a big vegetable garden. But now I live in an apartment, so I can't really have a vegetable garden. I have a patio and I have plants on my patio. And at one time I did have a cherry tomato plant and I grew my own little cherry tomatoes. I might try that again this summer because I really like tomatoes. I really like all vegetables. And I broke my bottom denture, and so I have been waiting to get the new ones made. And so I can't hardly eat any vegetables because they're just too hard to chew. So I'll get my diet back on, my diabetic diet back on better when I can eat everything properly. Which hopefully within the next week or so, they had told me they'd be ready like the first week of January, but they weren't ready when I called. So they said, they'll call me as soon as they're ready. And I'm fingers crossed that they turn out good. They had a hard time getting my impressions done. And so I'm kind of, not sure how they're going to turn out, how they're going to fit. But even if they just fit well enough for me to chew, I'll be happy with that. I really hate having to have dentures, but between the diabetes and the medication, it just rotted my teeth. And so I've had dentures for over 10 years already. I love corn on the cob, and that's one thing that I still can eat it, but I have to cut it off the cob. Yes, my grandbaby already likes my plants because of there was going to be a couple nights that it was supposed to get to freezing. We hardly ever get below freezing here, but we were going to be on vacation and out of town. And so I brought my plants in off the patio into the living room so that, they wouldn't die if it did freeze. And so they're not normally there. So she keeps going over to them and looking at them and looking at them. I keep telling her, just look, don't touch. But, I plan on teaching her about plants and how to respect nature and, things like that. And I can't wait. I mean, she's only 17 months, but she's already putting a lot of things together in her head. And you can tell by how much she's talking. And like if I say, you did it, she'll say, you did it. Instead of like, she doesn't know to say, I did it. But almost anything I say now, she tries to repeat what I'm saying. So it's cute and it's fun. And I told my daughter yesterday, I said, I'm not pronouncing words properly without my bottom teeth. And so the poor baby is not getting the best education on pronunciation right now. But it'll get better. She's almost too smart. She has to see and touch and, get into everything. She acts more like 18 to 24 months than she acts like 17 months. Yes, they are so smart. I love her dearly, though, I tell you. I didn't even realize how much I was going to love being a grandmother. I really didn't. And then with my daughter's job and her husband working and everything, and me being at home, I was, so happy to be able to say, I can do free childcare for you. And I encourage my daughter to have date night and have, time with her friends. And I did the wrong thing when I was a young mother, or not even young mother, but a first time mother. I pretty well had my husband and my child and no real outside friends much. And I kind of lost me in the shuffle of raising her and everything. And I told her and her husband both, you can't do that. You have to still have your own life, and you have to have your own hobbies and things that you like. And you include your children in those things, when it's possible and when you can. But when you can't, that's when you call me and say, can you watch the baby for, 2 hours so I can go have lunch with a girlfriend or something? And I'm more than willing to do it. I actually like it when, if she has to work late or there's something going on at the school, she's involved in the dance team. Sometimes she has to go for practices in the evenings and things like that. And I'll say, oh, just let the baby spend the night, That's how they learn. Enjoy her. She helps you too and makes you feel younger. Oh, she definitely does. She definitely makes me feel younger. And it's so much fun. With my daughter, I had to work, and I had her with me. I worked in a real estate office, and I was like the only person in the office all the time, other than my boss and, a couple other of his family members that worked there. But so as a baby, I had her with me in the office. It was great because I wanted to quit and be a stay-at-home mother. And my boss didn't hire anybody before I had the baby. And so he was in a pinch that he didn't have anybody. And I was kind of like, well, I'll, keep doing it until you find somebody. And then he agreed to let me have her in the office. So then I kept working. But so for the first 18 months, I had her with me in the office. And then she started getting into everything, just like my granddaughter is. And I went ahead and put her in daycare at that point. Also to socialize her because she was an only child. So then it was, work, get the baby, take care of the baby, go back to work and all that. And now it's, even though I pick her up and I take her back, it's like I have more time to actually spend, with her while she's playing. We play, and, she brings me toys to play with, and she brings me plastic cups and tells me, here's a drink or, whatever. It's cute. It's really cute. She's always wanting me to, have something, do something. And as soon as I come near my computer, she wants me to hold her, and she wants to, try to get the computer. She loves phones and remotes and basically anything electronic. She just goes crazy for. And I'm like, you're too young. You're too young. You don't need to know about all this electronic stuff. But she loves it. Absolutely loves it. And her dad plays video games. And so she's all the time trying to get the video game controllers. And they even bought her, for her first Christmas, they bought her a toy remote for a game, that she could play with. But she wants the real thing. And so I give her my remote, but I take the batteries out of it. And she'll just stand there and point it at the TV and kind of gets mad whenever, it doesn't work. Miss PJ Wish says, I need to go also, and thank you for visiting with me. Appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you so much. And please come back again. And I'll try to get on some kind of more of a schedule so people will know instead of just doing these surprise ones. But you have a great rest of your day and a good evening. Anybody wants to come up? I've already put the link there. I can put a new link. Let me put another link. And you're more than welcome to come up or chat in the chat. I'm just kind of rambling. I don't really know what to talk about. I'm trying to get to know people so that I'll know like what kind of topics people want to discuss. I haven't really, I've been making videos, but I haven't really like put together a whole show yet as far as, a topic and something to show and do all that. So right now I'm just kind of winging it. I really like the Canva program though. I've been having fun making videos with it. And like I was saying earlier, I have my dog's channel. I've had it for quite a while. And I hope that people will go and take a look at it as well. It's called Chloe the Chiweenie. Some funny videos on there. Chloe's a sweet little girl. I've had her since she was 5 weeks old, and she just turned 10 December 7th. And she just went to the vet Monday and had her shots and her nails done. So she wasn't real happy with me, but she's okay now. And hopefully the people that come to her channel will come and check us out over here as well. And that way I can kind of cross post things on both channels. And I said it before, I will never ask you for anybody for money. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the scamming type thing. I don't have a Cash App or a PayPal posted anywhere. It's not something I want to do. I'm not looking to become monetized. I am on disability. I don't need it as an income or want the extra income or want anything to hurt my disability. I do want to make connections with people, and I do want to have fun in my 60s and live my best life. And so hopefully everybody will, get positive and come along with me, and we can all just have a great time. And I don't care if you're not 60 or if you're over 60. Wherever you are in your life, I hope you'll come and join us. I really need to get a new picture taken. That's kind of an older, that's with my old glasses, and my hair is a little longer now. You all, I'm sure, can tell I have very thin hair. I have a low thyroid and diabetes, and I had a hysterectomy at 40, a complete hysterectomy, so I didn't have hormone replacement, and it has really taken a toll. I used to have a beautiful, thick, wavy head of hair, but as I'm aging, that's one thing is not aging well for me is my hair. So if any of y'all have any tips or tricks or suggestions about thin hair, what to do about it, how to stop it from thinning, how to get it to grow back, anything like that, please let me know. You can leave me a message in the chat. You can leave a comment after the live. You can message me on the community board or wall. But I really need some help with the thinning hair thing. I pretty well got most aspects of my life pretty well under control. But that's one area that I definitely need some help some support in. On my videos, you'll see I've got my story there kind of about my divorce. I originally started this channel and I was going to just try to help people going through divorce. They call it silver divorce or gray divorce, people that have been married over 20 years and find themselves in their 50s and 60s getting divorced. That was going to be my topic. And then I thought that, loss is loss, whether it's the loss of a job, loss of a friendship, loss of a relationship, loss of a husband, loss of a loved one. And so I was kind of trying to combine the loss and grief aspect in with it. But I was getting depressed, even just doing the topics that I was doing. And I said, I don't want to be depressing. I want it to be more of an upbeat and joyful and more of an adventure type thing. So that's when I changed it and I added the at 60 onto my name, and I kind of changed the direction of the channel. And now I'm trying to talk about things that are more uplifting, more positive, and try to, connect with people who are in similar situations as myself, people who are either nearing retirement or already retired, other people like myself who are disabled, who had to rearrange their life or recreate their life when they became disabled, empty nesters when their children have gone off to college or, gotten married or moved on with their own lives or whatever. That's hard to do. Excuse me. I talk too much without breathing and I get where I don't get enough oxygen. I start yawning. Anyway, I have a daughter, a son-in-law, and a beautiful granddaughter. My ex-husband met somebody on where else but the internet, actually on Facebook. And after 29 and a half years of marriage, decided to walk out. And he did. And it was a good 3 years until my daughter tracked him down and got him back into her life. And then the grandbaby came along. So he's grandpa to the baby and his wife is Nana to the baby. And we're all one big happy blended family now. I'm not saying we don't have problems. I'm not saying there's not issues. There's always going to be issues. But his new wife is a wonderful person. I would pick her as a friend if the situation was different. And she loves my daughter and loves my granddaughter. And that's all that matters to me. She didn't have an opportunity to have children because of some medical problems. And so she is relishing in the fact that now she has a daughter and she gets the chance to be a nana and have grandchildren. So it's really made her life happy. And she didn't know about me as far as that I was still married to my ex. He told her we were separated and getting divorced, which we were not. So anyway, everybody goes through things. And I've learned that what you think is going to break you and you won't be able to survive and you won't be able to go on, that's not true. You can always pick up the pieces and move forward and create the life you want to be living. And that's why my name is Living My Best Life at 60. I've taken care of everybody else and done everything for everyone else. And now it's my turn. And now it's time for me to live my best life. And I hope I can help other people live their best life at any age, but especially in their 60s. I don't know why society kind of thinks we're too old now and kind of disregards us and, like we're disposable. It's one reason why I do like some of the other cultures, because a lot of them value their elderly. And you'll find where they'll have the grandparents, the parents, the grown children, the grandchildren, all living together and basically taking care of family. And sometimes I think here in the United States, we lack that notion. Our American dream is, you get up and get out on your own and you pull yourself up and you make your own way and all of that. But sometimes in doing that, we forget about our families and we forget about that our elderly worked and made a way for us to be able to come along into this world. And we not that we owe them or they expect us to take care of them, but just out of pure respect for what they've done for us, we should be taking care of them. So I hope I've instilled that in my daughter, and I hope when the time comes that she will take care of me. I know I probably will end up in a nursing home for the simple fact that with the diabetes, I'm at risk to lose my feet and or legs. And if that happens, then I'll need professional care. I'm getting off into a tangent about being sick, so I want to stop that right now. This is not about me being sickly or, don't feel sorry for me one bit. I have a wonderful life and I'm very happy in my life. So don't feel bad for me or for anyone else. We all have our struggles, but we all have our triumphs as well. I think I'll play the video again. I love my video. Here we go. I'm back. I was just looking to see who else is live, if anybody. And that may be why nobody's coming along. Some of the big channels are live. But that's okay. Oops. Stop. I don't want to play somebody else's. I don't want to play somebody else's stuff. I don't want to get a strike or anything. Okay, I'm going to play Chloe's intro. And that's my dog's channel, Chloe the Chewini. I have lots of fun things on her channel. Let's see if what I have in here that I could show you. If I have anything in here. Oh, I have this one, which is the 10 highest priced dogs. And this is well, let me do this. There we go. This is me and Chloe. It says, welcome friends. Chloe and I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Chloe is a mixed breed dog, Dachshund mother and Chihuahua daddy. Mixed breed dogs are often much healthier than purebred dogs. Purebred dogs often cost a high price and have health problems due to the limited gene pool and risk of passing along genetic disorders. Let's look at the top 10 most expensive purebred dogs. Number 10 on the list is an Afghan hound, $7,000. And you also will have a lot of grooming expenses with these dogs. Number 9, Pharaoh hound, $7,500. Not so much grooming, they don't have a lot of hair. Number 8, the Doggo Argentino. Commonly, they're deaf and they have hip dysplasia problems, and they cost around $8,000. Then we have the Canadian Eskimo dog for $8,750. Then number 6, the Rottweiler. Now, Rottweiler you might think is not an expensive breed, which you're right. The cost of them is around $1,500 for a puppy. But you're going to pay over their average lifespan about $7,500 in vet bills because they have multiple health issues. Whoops. There we go. So anyway, they're between the average medical bills and the cost, you're looking right at $9,000 to raise a Rottweiler. Number 5, I can't even pronounce this dog, but they're $9,500. They're very expensive dogs. Number 4, the Tibetan Mastiff, cost you $10,000. And look at the size of that dog. It's huge, and you're going to have a lot of grooming bills as well. High food bills and high grooming. Number 3 on the list is the Chow Chow, $11,000, and that includes the cost of their maintenance, which again is their grooming cost. Number 2, the Neapolitan Mastiff, $8,500 plus lots of medical issues. Due to their large size, causes cherry eye, bloat, and hip problems. So they're very expensive to feed as well. All right, and the number 1 most expensive dog is the Samoyed. $9,000 cost plus an average of $5,000 medical bills for a total of $14,000. They suffer from autoimmune issues. Okay, I will be right back. I have to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to step away for just a moment. Um, I hope you're having a good day. I don't know if you are or you're not, but I hope that you are. I'm having a great day. If you want to come up on panel, you're more than welcome to. I posted a link not too long ago. Still good. And if not, I'll talk to you in chat. Um, I was showing a video about my dog and talking a little bit about my dog's channel. I've had it for a little while. It's called Chloe the Chiweenie, and I just started it kind of for fun and so family could see my dog and some of her crazy antics and things like that. So um, that's what I was talking about. I'm happy to see some people coming in. I hope I'm not too boring. I will do better as far as planning what to talk about. I will start having some topics and be able to actually, have a little bit better of a program for people to come and watch. But mostly I want to make connections with people and I want people to feel comfortable here. No matter what walks of life you come from, you'll always be welcome here and respected. I won't let anybody be disrespectful to anyone in chat or any guests on panel. I've learned that from watching some of the other creators. Sometimes they just don't even pay attention to the chat and they let people run wild. And if that happens, I will make sure I have mods in the chat to watch for that and take care of that. And I'll stop a show and block people myself if I have to. So I don't want there to be any drama over here. We won't be discussing religion. We won't really discuss politics or religion. I mean, a little bit here and there maybe, but nothing serious about it. There won't be a lot of cussing. I had one person ask me, well, can I still cuss on your channel? Yes, you can. I won't be monetized, so it really won't make a difference. I don't particularly cuss myself. It's just something I don't do. I was raised not to. But if I ever do, if you ever hear me cussing, please call 911 because something terrible is happening. And you may think that's a joke, but it's not, because that's about the only time I do swear is if somebody is in danger, someone that I love is being hurt or is in a situation where they need my help, then I might swear. But other than that, not likely. I definitely don't like some of the derogatory cuss words. I'm definitely a feminist when it comes to women's rights, and I don't believe any man should ever put their hands on a woman or disrespect a woman in any way. My first relationship was an abusive relationship. He had drug and alcohol related issues. I was young. I was naive. I was a chubby girl looking for love. And I made some mistakes in my life concerning him. And it took me quite a while to get over that situation and go on with life. So I may look like I've had just a nice, easy little life, but I really haven't. And someday I'll tell you all about everything you want to know about me. But for right now, I want to get to know you. I want to be able to communicate with people. And when I see you come in chat, I want to be able to say, oh, I remember her. She lives in, Texas, or she lives in Connecticut. And I know a little bit about them. I know their personality. I know how they speak in chat, that kind of a thing. So I don't want it ever to get so big that I won't recognize people or remember people. I also don't really care about getting monetized. I am disabled and I need to keep my disability going So I probably will not be monetized. I won't drop a Cash App or a PayPal. I don't believe in that. I know sometimes people are raising money for someone, and if it was a fundraiser, that would be different. But it would have to be a legit fundraiser. I wouldn't just try to raise money for somebody just to be doing it. And I have enough money and support in my life to take care of myself. So I won't probably ever have a wish list or um, anything like that. So save your money, give your money to the other creators who need it. And if it ever comes a time that I do need anything, then I will let you know. But as of right now, that's not my intention or my plans. I'm just a bored old lady looking for something to do with her time. Um, I do watch my grandbaby during the daytime when my daughter's at work, but sometimes when she takes a nap, I might be bored and pop on for a little bit, or in the evening after dinner time, I might pop on before some of the other creators come on late night, that kind of thing. I kind of want to fill the gap um, and be the kind of show that I would watch if I was looking to watch something, because that's my main reason for doing this. Is I find there are times, especially on the weekends, that nobody's live, and I don't have much to watch. And I watch people's videos, and I go back and replay the live if I missed it and things like that. But after a while, you just want to, have see somebody go live on a weekend. So my weekends are basically my time, free. Well, hello, Miss Purple Phoenix. How are you doing? I am honored that you have come in my chat. Thank you so much. Do you remember me now? You see my picture up there? I helped out on we're doing research on the Evandale murders, the two girls. So I've emailed you a couple of times. I just put a bunch of stuff in your or in your Discord about cases, and I've got some videos I've made for some cases if you're interested in that. But thank you, Purple, for coming in. I am so happy to see you. I don't know how you do it, how you get up there and just talk and talk and talk. I am think I'm just rambling. And I so wish I had somebody come up on panel to talk to. I know it makes it a lot easier when it's more like you have a conversation going with somebody than you're just up here talking about things. Are you going live tonight? And if so, what time? I was assuming probably 9:30. And I thought since not too many people were on live, I would come on live. Kind of fill in the gap here for a little bit. You must have told people I was on, because now I'm up to 7 viewers. Woohoo! I think that's the most I've ever had, y'all. I'm so happy. Yes, 8:30 Central, which would, because I'm in Eastern time zone, so that'll be 9:30 my time. Oh, now we're up to 8. Ooh. I'm so happy. Y'all, please say hi in chat so I know who's supporting me. Mrs. T, there she is. Hey, my friend, Mrs. T. And Purple, you said she did. She told people I was on. I appreciate that so much. Hello, Crystal's Place. How are you doing? What's going on with your channel? I never see where you go live or anything anymore. You need to get your channel up and going. It's so nice of y'all to come and support me. I appreciate it so much. I'm just an old lady who's bored and has time on her hands, and I really like true crime, but I don't want to do true crime on my own. And I would like to meet some other people in my situation, whether you're disabled or early retired or you are retirement age, it doesn't matter. I would love to, connect with people. Yes, Crystal, you should go back to going live sometime in the future. I'll support you for sure. Hi, True Smiles. I need to if anybody would like to be a mod, let me know. Um, I just figured this out the other day. They helped me and I was able to mod a couple people, but I really would like to have a couple more. Miss T or Crystal, would you like to be a mod for me? Purple, I know you always say you're a lazy mod, so I won't bother you. You're pretty busy on your own, doing your own thing. Okay, Crystal said sure, and Miss T said sure. So great. So let me see. I'm going to try this. I didn't realize that on StreamYard you can't see who's your mods, and you have to do it. You can see them on your phone, though, if you pull up your phone. Okay, Crystal and Miss T, could you type something again so I can make sure that it went through? I know True Smiles will help me. She said we're different time zones, but when she can, she'll come and help me, and I appreciate that. Okay, it worked for Crystal. Yay! And let's see about Miss T. Y'all know what to look for, people being ugly and stuff. I really don't. The only thing I've really learned from Purple was to not let somebody up on panel that I don't see their face. And if it's a crazy man, make sure I put my picture up there so nobody would see if they try to porn bomb me. I don't want to be porn bombed. Yes, it is. And I have my dog channel also. And I said the other day, I said, am I crazy to think I can do two channels at the same time? But the dog channel, that one, I don't go live really, so I can just post on it. Okay, Miss T, it worked. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. Hey, Jenna. How do you feel about being a mod? I would love to make you a mod. I promise I won't be like Tony and mod every single person. I don't believe in that either, but I've been watching Miss T and Jenna some, and I trust that they would do me well. Matter of fact, before I came live, I was watching Jenna's live from last night. I heard y'all were up till like 5 o'clock in the morning. I would have loved to have listened to that, but I actually fell asleep listening to Purple's live. So I must have been tired because I usually never sleep like that. Okay, Jenna, that's fine. Just whenever you can pop in uh, and help me out, I'd appreciate it. And if ever I'm going to do something where I feel like I need, somebody to have my back, I would call on you guys. I hope I did that right, Jenna. I'm not sure. Oops. I think I got you. Y'all have definitely supported me and made me feel welcome at Purple's, and I'm glad. All right. Yes, Jenna, I got you. Yeah, Mrs. T will be here. She's been, I think, almost every time I've gone live, she's come in and talked to me. So that's really good. I really like her. I hadn't been that opinionated in chat on purples, and then all of a sudden I got real opinionated. So I hope I haven't offended anybody. And if I have, I do apologize. I just get a little upset sometimes, some of the mean, hateful things people say when I know that Purple and Heidi and Harper and Karen and Brenda, they're all good people. And I hate to see that happening. Amanda and Peaches. And I know Ink is a little rough sometimes, but I love Ink to death. So I've enjoyed her. She gets me laughing sometimes with her comments. It's nice. It's very nice. I appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, Ink is a riot. I mean, she just gets me going and gets me laughing all the time. And I love it when she's calling Amy Linda, Amy Linda. That gets me laughing. I want this channel to be a place y'all can come and joke and have fun and, put some of that stress, especially with Corn Dog. See, I don't know how to take Corn Dog. I don't know what his purpose is or what he thinks he's getting out of kind of, other than I think he likes to kind of harass people a little bit. I'm not I'm not I'm not sure I like that. She was tripping me out, calling him chunky chili. I didn't hear that one. I would have laughed at that though. That's funny. And what about that Stingray lady over there at Buddy's? Ooh, she gets under my skin fast. I do not like her at all. And there I go, being very opinionated. In my opinion, I do not like her. Hi, Amanda. Thank you for stopping by, love. Yeah. I mean, she must have a miserable a life to be that hateful to people. She must not have anything positive in her life or something. I don't know. I hate to make judgments on people like that because I really try not to judge people, but she just gets under my skin. And, most people don't. Most people I just ignore, but for some reason, I just don't like her. And there's a couple others I don't care for, but, I can be civil. Amanda, are you in close to Brandy in Idaho? Or are you in Iowa by Purple? She is very loud. She is loud. And she has a very, like she's taken over the channel over talking Buddy. And I don't like that either. You were a mod on Betty Bullhorn? Bullhorn Betty? Or a different Betty? She's always been that way. Oh, you're in Nebraska. Okay, I don't know why I thought you were in Idaho. I don't know. I can't keep track of where everybody's at. But okay, so Nebraska. And it's very cold there, right? Oh, Betty Washam. Okay. Very cold in Nebraska too, huh? Well, I'm in South Georgia, so all I have is, hot weather mostly. 99% of the time it's hot here. Well, not 99. I would say 75% of the year it's hot. But I grew up in Indiana, so I know all about snow and ice and all that good stuff. I don't miss that at all. I would love to see the seasons change more. And I go up to North Georgia and see the leaves change. Jen is in Georgia? What? I did not know that. Amanda, you're from South Georgia? How'd you get to Nebraska? And Mrs. T, you're in Indiana. Okay, well, you know where Valparaiso, Indiana is? That's where I was born and raised. All right. What part of Georgia? I'm in South Georgia, right by the Florida state line. I'm about 20 miles to the Florida state line. See, I knew there was a reason I liked you people. Where about in South Georgia, Amanda? Now you got me interested in where everybody was from. Wanted a different place to raise my kids. Okay. I was about 35 miles from Savannah, or minutes from Savannah. Okay, I'm about 3 hours to Savannah. And up by Notre Dame. Okay. All right. Well, I was in the very northwest corner of Indiana. Wow. Small world. I always say that. It's a small world. You never know who you know. And that, and then you'll meet somebody and you'll find out you knew a relative of theirs for years and didn't even know it. And I didn't even know that Jenna was right here in Georgia. I was thinking that the other day. There's nobody on there really from Georgia. I know there's several people in Florida. Hi, Mystery Sky. I know there's lots of people in from Florida, but I didn't know anybody was really in Georgia. Mystery Sky, where are you from? Not necessarily where you live now, but where were you born and raised? And you don't have to say if you don't want to. Nobody feel obligated. I'm not trying to, get anybody's information or anything like that. I'm just having a conversation about the United States. Wow, 16 people in here. It's a new record. I've never had this many people. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate it so much. I know you're only probably here because Purple said I was live, but I appreciate Purple for that. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all. You're probably close to me. Savannah is like 3 hours from me as well. Hey, Roberta. Pixie Truther. Everyone found you all. Just subbed up living. Thank you very, very much. Mysterious Sky, you're in Germany, or you were raised in Germany. And Colleen at Lovely 62. Hi, hon. I'm in the UK. Just got out of the hospital and happy to be home with my kitty, Jenny. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And Miss Colleen, I'm glad you're out of the hospital. I'm glad you're feeling better. And Miss T, I'm glad you finally get to go to a doctor. I tell you, insurance, fighting with insurance is no fun. And Jenna, you probably are close to me then if you're about 3 hours. I don't know if are you 3 hours north of Savannah, or are you 3 hours, Savannah's more on one coast. Are you more on the Alabama coast side? Because I'm right smack in the middle. Miss Serious guys, I was in your chat, your live last night. I didn't make it to Jenna's. I had thought I fell asleep. I was going to try to make it, but I actually fell asleep listening to Purple. You're northwest. Okay, so you're probably 3 hours away from me as well. I'm about 3.5 hours from Atlanta. Purple did good because I was thinking how to get more people in for you. Thank you all so much. Do you know where Helen, Georgia is? Yes, I do. Jenna, I do know where that is. That's in pretty far up in North Georgia. You were in something's live last night. I was misunderstood 3. And you saw she did a community post for me? Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're from Germany, but you live in Wisconsin. So you're by Heidi. Okay. And so you're near Helen, Georgia. Okay. So you're basically the other side of Atlanta. So you're probably even 5 or 6 hours away from me then. Well, it's getting further away. I wish you were closer to Savannah. But I go to Atlanta quite a bit because my granddaughter's other grandparents are in South Carolina, just over the Georgia line. And so we go that way a lot. Yes, she did. She's a sweetheart. Yes, she is. Purple is a sweetheart. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Totally forgot. Oops. Well, thank you for coming in my chat yesterday. Oh, no problem. I'll support everybody. If I know you're live, if I see it, or when I'm subscribed and I get a notification, I will definitely support you. Miss Colleen says, I'm 62, so probably the oldest here. LOL. My hub, Jenny, is my absolute angel and keeps me going. And I think she said that was her cat, Miss Jenny. Well, you may think you're the oldest one here, Miss Colleen, but I actually was talking to somebody earlier who's 63. So she's got you beat. Purple takes care of her group. Yes, she does. And that's one thing I love about her, how she stands up for her friends and the people in her chat. And she doesn't care what people think about her or how hard they come at her. She's going to do what she feels is the right thing to do. I don't go live or have a channel, so to speak. Well, that's okay, Pixie Truther. I didn't think I would ever have a channel or go live either. So, life has a way of turning things sometimes. So you may eventually. All right. And Mysterious Sky says, Colleen, I am 62. Okay, so there you go. There's something the two of you have in common as well. And you're only a couple years older than me. But you've been doing this 60 thing, so you might can help me. Pixie Truther says, I'll be 58 this year, so I'm close to 60. Crystal's Place says, still here putting groceries away. Yes, me and Heidi live about 10 minutes apart. Oh, wow. How nice. How nice for you and Heidi. That's great. That is so great. And I don't know, becoming 30, 40, 50, none of that bothered me. But turning 60 for some reason has hit me hard. And January 15th, which is Sunday, I will be 60. It's hard to believe. And True Smile says, I'm getting there. Okay, you don't have to tell us how old you are. It's all right. We don't mind. Nobody ever has to tell us anything they don't want to. I'm nosy. I ask a lot of questions. I'm hanging back in school this week. Turning 40 sucked. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. But it didn't bother me any. Turning 50 hit me like a train. See? That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, and it hadn't hit me until this 60th. Miss T says, you're a baby. But as women, we all need to band together, whatever age we are, because we can either learn from each other because we haven't made it there yet, or we can help the younger ones coming up. Life is hard. It really is hard. And you need somebody to be positive and help keep you motivated and keep you positive, keep you moving forward. Pixie says, I hate getting old, but I'm still young at heart. That's right. And I really don't feel mentally. I feel about 17, 18 years old. It's just my body is not done as well as that. I'll put it that way. I'm really getting arthritis. I have a lot of joint pain, a lot of muscle aches and pains. Mrs. T says, Pixie, I hear you, girl. Roberta, me? Oh no, I've been paying rent for over 20 years. I stopped being a baby the minute I had to be on my own. 18 was also not a good year. Aw. And Mrs. T says she's 54. All right. That's good. You're still young. It sucks getting older. LOL, says Crystal. It does. It really does. Yes, it is, especially when you by yourself and you have nobody. Mrs. T is 18. Don't let her fool y'all. She might be 18. I don't know. My biggest thing is, I didn't take care of my diabetes when I was younger. And now I have some complications from it, and those complications make getting older even worse. That's right. You got all of us. Don't you feel like you're alone? Nobody's ever alone. And Mrs. T, you have a young sounding voice. That's okay. I'm only 26. Mystery Sky, you cannot lie like that. You go on camera. We know you're not 26. You look very good for your age, but you're not 26. Mrs. T is a sweetheart. Yes, she is. So, do all of you have children? And if you do, how old were you when you had your first child? I'll start. I'll go first. I have one child. She's 25, and I was 34, almost 35 when I had her. Jenna was 14 when she had her first. Okay. And Crystal has 4 children. Great. I wanted a big family. I really did. Yep. I was 21 and he's my only child. All right, Roberta. Great. Well, Jenna, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people who had kids when they were young. And as long as you were a good mama and took care of them, loved them, that's all you can do. You have one child who's 32. Okay. Roberta, Pixie, love you too. You are a sweet lady, said Mysterious Skies. Okay, Colleen says, you are the same as me, hun. I'm nosy too. I have I have lost a lot in life. Hope you don't mind me saying I lost my Jamie and my Charlotte. My son Danny just got back in touch with me. No, Colleen, I don't mind you saying that at all. It's very difficult when you lose children. I haven't experienced that, but I lost my father when I was 18, and I lost my best friend when I was 14. So, and then I lost my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. So I've dealt with death, and I know how hard that grieving process can be. Mrs. T says 22 the first. I have 3. Youngest is 20 now. Well, see, that's why you sound so young, Mrs. T, because you have, younger children. Crystal's Place. I was 21 with my first and 36 with my last. Okay. True Smiles has 2 children and 8 grandchildren. I envy that, having 8 grandchildren. Wow. Pixie says, I think you are all sweethearts here. Love hanging with all of you ladies. Well, thank you. I'll thank you for everybody else too. That's so sweet. And Mrs. T says she has 3 grandkids. That's what makes, living worth living is our families, our children, our grandchildren, our spouses, our friends, our brothers and sisters. I have one sister who's 2 years older than me, and I have a brother who is 6 years younger than I am. Pixie says, I have 3 grandchildren and they all have 4 legs and tails. It's funny you say that, because before my daughter gave me a grandchild, she gave me a grand cat and a grand dog. And I always said, because I only had the one child, and then I got my little dog. I've had her for 10 years, and I always say that's my daughter's little sister, which of course my daughter doesn't appreciate that very much. But she is like my second child. I treat her like she's a baby. I've said that too. I want to come back as somebody's dog that gets taken care of as well as I take care of my dog. Mystery Sky, 3 children, and I have my first one with 22. Yeah, I was, like I said, 34. My daughter was 24 when she had her baby girl that she has now. All right, so next question. How many people are still working? If you're working, put a 1 in the chat. And if you're like me, retired or disabled, put a 2. And again, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. Don't ever feel obligated to answer if I ask questions. Roberta, I totally agree. Our pets do become our babies and part of the family. Jenna's working. Roberta is not working, but you're going to school, so you might as well say you're working at school. And did I see Crystal say she was working? Pixie's in between, so she's number 3. Okay, we didn't put that as a choice, but yes, we'll let you be a number 3. So if you're working, put a 1. If you're not, put a 2. And if you're in between, put a 3. Well, no, Roberta, nobody pays you to go to school, but hopefully you're going to be able to do something with that education, and maybe you will get a job. Amanda, we know you're working, honey. You're always at work. Oh, what was the question? Okay, the question was, if you're working, put a 1. If you're retired or disabled like me, put a 2. And if you're in between the 2, you can put a 3. We need to have Amanda up on panel because I love listening to her laugh. Okay, Crystal's Place still working. Mrs. T is not working. She's like me. Psychosocial. Well, we're saying a quick hello to you as well. Thank you so much. And Pixie says half work, half play. Okay. I've worked 2 jobs at one time. I've not worked. My dad used to always say, work hard and play harder. I just can't get over Purple putting it on her community wall. That was so sweet of her. And now we're up to 20 people. Woo, woo, a new record for me. I so appreciate everybody. I don't know if y'all realize this, but on StreamYards, when you put like that pink handprint, it says hand pink waving instead of showing me the icon. And I didn't know when that came up the first time, I didn't know what the person was trying to say. And I'm like, hand pink waving. And then I realized. So some of the icons come up, but some of those newer ones don't. Purple loves you, babe. Well, I love Purple too. I love all of y'all. Y'all have been so nice to me. I can't express that enough. Hey, Frosty After Dark. She said, hey, saw the community post. See how nice that was of Purple? And now it says, Psycho hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving. For Mrs. T, she said at Psycho and then had the 3 hands. That is so neat. Can y'all tell I'm new at this? I'm like amazed at everything as I figure little things out. I get really happy. Yeah. All right. So Mystery Sky said she's a 2. So that means she's like us or like me, retired or disabled. And Frosty, we know you're still working. But Frosty, I think, is a baby. Frosty's probably only in her 30s. We were talking about how old we were, how many children we have, how old we were when we had our first child, and then whether or not we're working or not. Because I'm a nosy person and I ask a lot of questions. Don't feel obligated to answer. And I'm not trying to get information or dox anybody or anything like that. I just like to know a little bit about the people I'm interacting with. All right. Roberta says, I have a 19-year-old. I can't be a baby. It's bad. Colleen says, I have two grand bubs who have who I haven't seen for 3 years, but my son recently got back in touch. I went into ICU with pneumonia and was out of this world for a week 5 years ago. Wow. Sorry to hear all that, Colleen. I just had pneumonia over Thanksgiving holidays and was in the hospital as well. Pneumonia can be nasty stuff. There is feedback from the microphone. Oh, I have a fan on. Hold on. Is that better? Frosty, did that take the feedback away? Might have been from my fan. And I was right. Frosty is a baby. Okay, Mysterious Guy says, I worked as a pre-K teacher for 30 years. Wow. You must have the patience of a saint. And Frosty says, I work two jobs and I'm from Canada. Okay, cool. My daughter is an elementary school teacher. And when she was going to school, college, she thought she wanted to teach first grade reading and writing. And when she had to go do her student teaching, there was one particular town that she did not want to go to. And there was also, she didn't want a certain grade. And of course, that's where they put her for her. Um, okay, I don't know. Does anybody else hear it? Hear the feedback Frosty's talking about? Anyhow, that's where they sent her. So she did have to, she had to go to that particular town and have that particular class that she didn't want. But by the time that year was over, she changed her mind completely and decided she wanted third grade and she wanted to teach math and science. And so that's what she's done now for the past 4 years. This is her fourth year teaching. It's like a swirling sound. I'm not hearing any interference. I don't hear anything wrong, but I didn't hear anything before the fan was shut off. Okay. I have earbuds in though, so you can hear all sorts of junk. It's only when she speaks. Um, does it sound like I'm slurring my words or I'm maybe have too much saliva in my mouth, something like that? I broke my bottom dentures, and so I only have my top plate in. So I may be mispronouncing things a little bit. I do have central air. It was better when the fan was on. Pixie, what's going on? The air's not on, and I'm not really near a vent. I have a clock I can hear ticking in the background. And I am on my laptop and I'm just using the built-in microphone on the laptop. I don't know if that makes a difference. Oh no, Pixie, I didn't take it that way. I was just explaining that, that might be a possibility because I'm not sure what Frosty was hearing. And if Frosty and Roberta both have earbuds in, that may be why they're picking up the surrounding sounds. Roberta, that's interesting. And she says it sounds almost like if you're in a quiet airplane, that swirling you hear outside. That's what it sounds like to me, but I'm weird. Um, I live in an apartment building and I'm not far off of the parking lot, so it might be road sounds that you're hearing. Well, I have had my new teeth made and they're on order. I'm just waiting for them to call me to go pick them up. It's been very hard not having my bottom teeth. I'm very self conscious without them. And that's why I'm not on camera right now. After I get my new teeth and I need to get a haircut, and then I'll be on camera. No, I don't have earbuds in. Um, and Pixie Truther is leaving. She said it was nice to meet me and she'll be back and she'll see us all a little later. Thank you, and we'll see you later. Mrs. T says, I'm so glad I'm a part of these groups. Was in someone else's forever. These are so much better. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye, Pixie. Oh, and Colleen says, sorry, hon. I got cut off. What I was saying is, I went into a coma and knew I would probably not come out of it, but I did. I wondered why, but now I know why. She is right beside me. Oh, her cat, I guess. Yeah, pets will do that for us. My little Chloe, I call her my emotional support dog, because she knows when I'm feeling down and she knows when I need extra love and attention. I may have to invest in a better microphone. Aw, Jen, could be the volume. All right, so should I turn the volume down a little bit? Is that better? Is that better? I turned the volume about halfway down. Thank y'all for the feedback and for telling me, because I, of course, would have no way of knowing. What kind of dog is it, Jenna? Frosty, does it still sound the same even though I turned the volume down? He's a Rottweiler mix. Aw. Okay, Roberta. Has he been pretty healthy, Jenna, or has he had some health issues? Because Rottweilers are usually prone to a lot of health problems. I wonder if it could be my ceiling fan. It's like behind me, but it's probably 10 feet away from me. Let me turn it off and see if it helps. I bet that's what it was. Okay. Yes, Mrs. T, I found Charlie. He was in the house before I got back from looking for him. It just terrified me. You know, he's healthy. He's got joint pain, but he is my support dog. And I know you're blessed to have a support dog. True Smile says, ask us more questions, but I might not answer. Okay. More questions. Let's see. Um, has anybody else been divorced? And has anybody been divorced after more than 20 years? Crystal says, I've been divorced. It's rough. And Jenna says, I've been divorced one time, then I remarried. Everybody tells me that the second time is usually better. Um, a lot of my friends that are my age or older say that they, you know, had their children when they were younger with one man, and then later on they, after divorcing and whatever, then they remarried someone else, and then that marriage was really good. True Smile says no. Okay. Has anybody ever been to Paris, France? It's on my bucket list to do. I'm kind of obsessed about seeing the Eiffel Tower. Is Frosty still in here? And can you still hear the whirling sound? If it's not my ceiling fan, it might be my refrigerator, my ice machine running. Okay, True Smiles, yes, you've been to France. Jenna's never been to France. And Colleen's been divorced for 30 plus years. Okay, True Smiles, you live near France? You live in the UK, right? I have some good friends that went on a vacation for their 20th wedding anniversary, and they went to somewhere in Europe, and they were able to take little like day trips like to France and to other little different to other different countries. Good evening, Miss Brandy. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Colleen says she's been to Paris. I'm just asking questions because I'm kind of nosy, Brandy. So we've talked about if we're working or not, if we've had children, if we have grandchildren, those kind of questions. And now we were talking about I have an obsession with Paris, going to Paris and seeing the Eiffel Tower. And so we were talking about if anybody has been to Paris. Yes, I'm going to go one day. I don't know how or when or what the situation will be, but it's definitely, that's my bucket list trip is to go to France. And Brandy, just let me say, you are one of the strongest women I've ever known. And I pray every day for Michael and for your family and for his safe return home. You want to go to Spain and Italy? That would be nice too. I haven't been out of the United States. Well, I went on a cruise. I take that back. My 10th anniversary, I went on a cruise and was in Mexico, basically. Uh, Jacoby, sending respect. Thank you, sir. Colleen said that she went to the top of the Eiffel Tower. See, I want to do that. I want to do that so bad. You are so welcome, Brandy. And that situation with your daughter and her friend, if you ever need any research done on that or you want to try to do anything about that, please let me know. I am more than willing to help in that situation. That's something I'm very passionate about. Jacoby is giving True Smiles a virtual hug. So sweet. Jacoby, you need to answer my questions. We're looking to see how close to 60 you are. Also, if you work or you're disabled or retired, have you been married, divorced? Do you have any children? Brandy says she lived in Canada for a bit. That's as far as I've traveled, but you've been all over the States, though. Okay. Mr. Jacoby says he's 43, so you got a little ways to go to get in the 60 club. Big deal, Dottie. Hi. Hi from Long Island, New York. True Smile says she saw the Eiffel Tower. And I see you have your icon, True Smiles, as the Mona Lisa. Does everybody know the truth about the Mona Lisa? When my friends went to France, they went to see the Mona Lisa. And I guess it's in a large building. It might be a museum type building, but you have to stand in line forever to get to see the Mona Lisa. And there's signs that keep saying, this way to the Mona Lisa and what have you. And then when you get there, it's only about an 8 by 10 size painting. It's very tiny. And I always thought, it was a huge painting. Let me read this chat now. Brandy says, thank you so much. They are doing so much better. The parents reached out to me and we talked about so much. Great. As long as they have parental support and their friends support, I'm sure they'll be just fine. And Colleen says, Brandy, big hugs and praying for Michael. Hi, Crystal A. And you're a newborn. You're 35 years old. Well, not quite a newborn, but I'm going to call you a youngster. You're still in that category. You're not quite in the 60 club, but you're welcome anyway. You're more than welcome. And I appreciate everybody who's come in tonight. I really appreciate Purple for putting it on her community wall. I did put it in the Discord the other day when I went live, and I wasn't sure if she was going to get mad at me for doing that. But I'm glad she didn't. And now with her putting it on the community wall, I know I have her support, and that means a lot to me. And all of y'all's support means a lot. I'm just an old lady that's bored and trying to make connections with people, and I have a really big heart, and I want to try to, make life better for myself and everyone else. Okay, let me think of another question. Oh, okay. What brought you to YouTube? And again, I'll go first. I don't pay for cable. I have internet and I have a couple of the like Hulu and Netflix that I pay for. But I found out that I could get on my Roku that I could pull up the uh, YouTube channel, which I didn't even know it existed. And it was during the Gabby Petito case, and so I started watching Icamel and Molly and some of the other larger creators, and that's how I got started. And I'm a big true crime buff. I love true crime, and so I was really intrigued. Okay, Jacoby's answers are: he's working on separation from wife. I have 2 children. Jacoby Jr. is 10. Serenity Hope is 9. He's a Virgo and he lives in Florence, Alabama. All right. Well, I'm in South Georgia, so you're not far. And Crystal says she got rid of the cable too. Yeah. When I, picked up the pieces for my divorce, there were certain things I had to learn to do without, and cable TV was just too expensive. And Crystal says she's also into true crime. Colleen says, I'm 62 and I'm from the UK. I've lost 2 babies who are with me always. And Mrs. T says, I have a fire stick. Yeah, those fire sticks are nice too. I have the Roku on both the TV in the living room and the bedroom. And my daughter's paying for the Disney Plus now for the grandbaby to watch. So we have that. And a friend of mine has CBS. And so I am graciously allowed to watch that if I would choose to. There are tons of streaming services now that are much cheaper. That's Crystal's comment. I know there are, and I watch like Pluto for free and Peacock for free and some of those, but I just haven't really tried to pay too much money for things like that. And I really don't watch television that much. I'm usually either researching something on the computer or I'm listening to somebody's show or I'm, at Purple's or whatever. So I say I have a lot of free time. I really don't have that much free time. I'm just bored. So whenever I do have free time, I'm kind of bored. Yes, yeah, I have Hulu. I have Netflix and YouTube. I had Hulu, but I canceled it because I never watched it. And my daughter had the Amazon Prime for a while, so I had that. Colleen, Jacoby says, Colleen, your angels are surrounding you daily. Mrs. T says, I know how to break the fire sticks too, like get more free stuff. Oh, okay, good. Well, that's great. Ever since COVID, I think people are finding ways to do a lot of things with their computers and, ways to do things to try to save money. That's all right. Let me think of another question. Okay, let's do our birth months. Mine, of course, is January the 15th. I'm a Capricorn. And if you don't want to answer that question, you can answer, who's your favorite Major League Baseball team? Crystal says she's May. She's a Taurus. My daddy was a Taurus. May 11th was his birthday. And my favorite Major League Baseball team, of course, being in Georgia, is the Atlanta Braves. We'll see Crystal and Mrs. T. You can come up on panel and you can talk about it in the back. Okay, Crystal A says June 28th, which I believe makes you a Cancer. My brother's is June 24th, and she likes the Milwaukee Brewers. Colleen says, I have one grown son who has recently reached out to me. I am hoping to see my grandhubs again soon. I'm very spiritual. Okay, good. Mrs. T says, I'm on the cusp of Libra and Scorpio. Jenna is in May. She's a Taurus also. Amy Linda. Hi. She says she's a Taurus. Uh, Mrs. T says, I'll get with you when you're live after and we can run through it. Okay, good. Set her or hook her up there, Miss T. That'd be great. Okay, so the question is, what is your birth month and sign? And what's your favorite Major League Baseball team? Amy, we are both a Taurus. Aren't Tauruses the best? My daddy was a Taurus and he was the best daddy ever. So I'll agree with that. No, Crystal, Cancer is the best. True Smilers, you're a Cancer, I think. I am not a baseball fan, but love football. Go Steelers. Well, Amy, good for you. I don't like football that much. I prefer baseball, but if I'm going to watch football, it's going to be college football, and probably Clemson is who I would vote for. Colleen A says, what a beautiful lady you are. Can I come up and say hello? Of course. Let me drop a link. There you go. Well, yes, Mrs. T, we know you would love Green Bay, just like Heidi does in Notre Dame. Okay, Miss Colleen, if you're going to come up, you have to show me your face. Amy, I think I just timed you out accidentally. Please don't get upset. It was an accident. Jacoby says, The Wilson Dallas, Go Steelers, Black Heart. I can't find the emoji for my yellow heart. And Crystal says, I knew you were kidding, True Smiles. What True Smiles say? Just kidding, Crystal. We're all the best. Okay. Yeah, Amy, I'm sorry. I just hit that accidentally. In just a minute, I think there was something from Purple's Discord about going live. We're about to go live, everyone. Okay, so we need to go to Purple's. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down. Miss Colleen, I'm sorry. We don't have time right now because I want to close this one out so that we can all go over to Purple's. So again, thank you for stopping by and thank you for supporting me. And we'll do this again real soon. Good night now. I'll see you in Purple's in a minute.